Hey there, I'm Heidi Swapp. Welcome to Create to Remember, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really fun mini memory file album using the ColourPop memory files and a bunch of other stuff that you probably have in your scrap drawer. So let me just show you. It's the whole memory file is the size of a mini memory file. But I have when you buy the ColourPop memory files, you're going to get some regular size memory files and some mini memory files, and I mixed them all up so that you could actually have different sizes so that you could really make projects exactly like the one that I'm about to show you. So you can see here that I've done a lot of embellishing on the cover. I have used this large memory file to create the cover, and then I've added some tinsel color shine and some Georgia peach color shine in just those special areas to give it a little bit of ColourPop. So then I've also added some ClearPop banners, some ColourPop window that I've added the Georgia peach to, and some ClearPop tags and tabs. All right. So when you look inside, you can see that really I just reached into my junk drawer, into my scraps, and started pulling stuff out. So I used the offcuts of my memory file and created a little tab pull-out piece. I used an envelope, and there's extra photos can be tucked inside there. Again, embellished with lots of fun stuff. When I reached into my drawer and grabbed out scraps, I just started adding them in here. This is a little mini memory file, and I added some of my clear letters and banner delights. I like the little lift up places, little interactive things. I sewed some ghost alphabets. I'm not supposed to call them ghosts. They're ClearPop, same thing really, if you still have some left over from before, and some ClearPop banners. I even used, this is a vintage chic memory file, mini memory file, and so it's really fun to mix the vintage chic with the ColourPop. It's a really nice contrast. So you get back here, and I've added some vintage chic paper and more of the ColourPop and vintage chic memory files. So the fun thing is that the memory files can really serve as great pages inside a mini book, whether you cut them apart or you keep them together. So let me show you how I made it. I don't have tons of things, and so really what you're going to have to do is look inside your junk, your scrap drawer. I have a scrap drawer that is just right in my island where I scrapbook. And so I love to pull stuff out of my scrapbook drawer. All right, so I'm cutting this to be about 9 inches tall. Let's see, it doesn't look like I cut all the way through, pretty much. So I'll just kind of trim it down. So this is going to be the height of my album. But now what I want to do is, you can see here, and this is what I really wanted to show you, is that on the outside it doesn't look like there's a binding, but there is kind of a hidden binding back here so that all of these pages are bound in using my cinch. And that makes it really fun, interesting, interactive album. So now that I have it cut to the height that I want, 9 inches tall, I'm going to cut 2 1/4 inches off the creased edge, off where the spine is. Now, we're going to use this spine, and this spine is actually going to hold this cover together now that we've cut it into 2 pieces. So when you look really closely at the memory files, you'll see that there are several score lines there so that you can make that file folder come as wide as you want, depending on how much stuff is going to be inside there. So we're going to go ahead and fold it out to the furthest score line so that we get like a 3/4 inch spine here. Now is when we're going to take whatever adhesive you love, and I love the Basil Marathon Runner, and I'm going to place some adhesive on the back and then take the back of my file and just go ahead and glue it back on. And I'm just lining it right up with the crease, okay? So if you want to, you can work to match up the pattern. In fact, I think that that's what I wound up doing, was I worked to match up the pattern. It's kind of up to you. All right, so then on this front, if I'm careful, you know, I can line up the pattern on the front. I'd have to kind of trim it up. So that will be your special job at home because I am on the fly. Okay, now I'm going to take the top piece and I'm going to glue it right into that spine piece again and line it up with the crease. So you can see that my chevron is a little bit off. I could have worked like I did on this original piece. I kind of adjusted the height so that it would line up. It actually doesn't really bother me. Okay, so now I have my cover in place and I can gather whatever I want to throw into this album. So just for fun right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this ColourPop mini file so that it becomes 2 pages. So I'm going to throw those in there. I also want to go ahead and use this extra offcut inside my album too. I have a bunch of these pages, and like I said, you can just pull stuff right out of your scrapbook drawer, your crafting stash, and you can stick that stuff right into your album. So now that I've got a bunch of stuff, I'm going to put all of my pages together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and split these up into 2 different pieces to stick them into my cinch. So if it's longer than your cinch, then all you have to do is pull this piece out, move it all the way down, and there's this little guy right here on this end that's a guide. Oh, and I've got a piece of scrap stuck in there. So you'll want to stick that guide down before you add more holes, and then that will give you a nice continuous flow. All right, then I'm going to stick these pages in. Again, close your ruler, start at the beginning, extend out the ruler, and put the guide in place. All right, and now we've got all the papers. All right, now this is the tricky part. When you look at your little album, on the very front, we're not going to even see the crease. So the holes actually go in on the back fold. All right, so you'll fold it over flat and then stick it into your cinch all the way to the back. And just because it sort of bears repeating, you are punching into the back of the file, the back of the book, and the side of the spine. So I turned it inside out and punched on the back. And so that's the side that has the tab pop up. Does that make sense? All right, so when you look at the holes, you'll see that the holes are in the middle of the spine and on the back of the file, but that there's nothing punched on the front. All right, you with me? Okay, so now I would, if I was making this album for myself, I would want to be sure that I added way more pages than this because this is just not enough pages, but it will do for now. All right, so I always like to start at the very back of the album. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my one side of my memory file album in. I'm actually going to stick it all the way at the bottom. And I have a lot of these plain papers. These will be great for journaling, art journaling or misting or whatever. Stick those in. And then I'm also going to stick the front of that file in. And then I'm going to add in this Sugar Chic mini file. And this is one that I didn't cut apart, so it will be like a little file inside there. Now, I also have this fun little offcut piece. And you can just kind of rummage through your scraps and find fun things to add in there that will add interest. All right, now, we're going to put the cover on. Now, this is where you have to pay really close attention. We're going to turn this inside out and then lay it with the inside of the back cover facing up. Should I say that again? All right, so this is the front. We're going to turn it inside out, and we're going to lay it on top with the inside of the back cover facing up. All right, so we'll put that on there. Now we're going to lift it all up. Now to test it and make sure you have it on right, just act like you're opening this up, and this will be the front of your album and the front cover of your album, because this back piece will wrap all the way around. So just check it before you go ahead and bind it. So I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to trim off the excess of the coil that I don't need. And now I'm just going to, I have set my dial at 1/2 inch for the coil, and I've set my coils in so that the open pieces are up against the back of the cinch, and I'm just going to press it down, move it down, and press it down again. Now watch what happens as I wrap the back around. You're going to see the front of the album is in the right place, and you don't see the coils at all on the very front. So it kind of gives a much more clean look from the front, but that awesome functionality of a spiral bind. So this is going to be a lot of fun to gather up all the different things that you want to put inside here, create a cool file folder cover for you to make pretty stuff.